Hello, if you're watching this, I assume you are a fellow person that has set out on the journey to manifest your dream life, or you are you're considering leaving your job, leaving your 9 to 5 without a solid backup plan to manifest your dream life. And I've been meaning to come on here and just give my 2 cents or tips because I was looking up a lot of stuff about this before I made the decision to try to look at other people's experiences and whatever to figure out if this is something that I was willing to do. So take everything with a grain of salt. I'm one person, and this is just my experience and what I believe you should be on the lookout for, pay attention to, and so forth when you decide to take this leap. I'm not doing a bunch of video cuts or whatever. This is just for people that are like, if this is something that you want to listen to, then continue watching. So my experience, I was working a 9 to 5 for about a year and a half. I spent a lot of time contemplating if I was going to leave. I finally got to the point where I decided I'm just gonna do this, and now I'm here. I'm about 2 months in. It has been a great journey so far, but things to consider if you are leaving your job specifically to manifest a better life. I would say, well, I'm just gonna get straight to the points. So I'm just gonna say one, when you get out here, you cannot quit your job and be worried, nervous, or concerned about what is going to happen. That is like in terms of manifestation. I guess I should give you some of my background. I have looked into this stuff so much. I know so much about manifestation between the books and the podcasts and the YouTube videos and the TikToks and even Reddit. Just so I've been able to come to an understanding that all it really comes down to is belief. You could do tricks, you could do affirmations, you can do what, which I am a proponent of affirmations, and I have my 2 cents on that. But I'm not really tripping on robo affirmations, but I have my 2 cents on that too. But whatever. What it actually just comes down to is knowing, belief, and internal peace. And so what I was gonna say at first is when you get out here, you need to be pretty good at emotional control, or at least willing to give yourself the time and space to get good at that. I have well, I guess I don't have videos on. No, I have videos on here. I post them on my YouTube. I have videos where I do talk about that a lot because I am someone that was very easily irritable. My emotions come very strong. I've always had very strong emotions, very fight or flight would come in the split of a second, whatever, whatever. And so that was my like challenge or my feat. And mastering that, or as close to mastery as I am at the moment, has made a huge impact on my life. I have manifested some small things, which I'll discuss. And so, which even using that word small, got to get that out of my vocabulary. But point being, you absolutely have to be okay with quitting your job and nothing that you desired coming true. You have to genuinely be okay with that and be like, well, whatever. I'll figure it out. Things are happening in my favor, better is to come, however way you want to look at that. That's I would argue, a requirement. Don't quit your job if you're gonna get, okay, I'm gonna do all the manifestation tricks, and no, you've already messed up. If you can't quit your job and then just relax, like if you are going to quit your job and then be like, I'm going to hustle and do this every day or whatever. I mean, if you believe that's what's going to work, then do that, because it's all about what you believe. If you believe if you quit your job, you get your ass out there and hustle, then everything's going to work out fine, then it will. But if you are constantly looking for, okay, did I get these views on this video, or did this work out, or did this whatever, that's just countering everything that you're trying to achieve. It makes a significant difference. Internal peace is everything. You have to be okay and genuinely be happy, like genuine, not like I'm happy, but like genuinely like, man, I'm just happy in life. To really be able to make this work. So that's my first 2 cents. Next, how much money should you have saved? This is an opinion. Okay, I'm gonna just toss this out there. This is just my personal opinion, and I'm open to feedback on this. But I am so glad I didn't come out here with just 3 months savings. I'm so glad, and I almost kind of did that. I mean, I ended up, I guess you can say, manifesting more than I expected. So my last check from my job, I say where all the money comes from, by the way, and when I talk about success stories or whatever. So I'm trying to keep this video from being super long, but super transparent on how, when, where, why a manifestation has come true for me. It really frustrates me when people talk about success stories and they give you no details as to how it actually happened. So that's not what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to get through stuff. But my last check came back larger than expected. So that gave me an extra month. And then something, I moved something else in my savings account. I don't know. So essentially, I came out here with 6 months worth of savings. I was like thinking, oh, 3 and 4 can work, but I wasn't super comfortable with that because it's hard to save up that much money, which that's a limiting belief. But you know what you know what I'm getting at. It can be challenging for many people to save up that much money, but I would highly suggest having no less than, I want to say no less than 5, but I really want to say, or I want to say no less than 4, but I really want to say no less than 5. You are not accounting for the adjustment period. January would just, so much of January was spent me figuring out how do I even want to spend my day? How do I want to organize my day? What I want to do. And no matter how much you plan ahead, no matter how much you plan ahead, there's going to be an adjustment period. February, I would argue, was still a bit of an adjustment period. And that's not a bad thing. It's just the same way when you start a new job and there's an adjustment period. It's like quitting that job and then having all the time in and of itself. And then after you've also been so exhausted from that job and you do want some time to rest, but you're also trying to work on whatever, it's just, yeah. So I personally say 5 months is the minimum, but 4 bare minimum. Because if I only did 3, then that would mean like next month is it. Like next month is month 3. You know what I mean? So yeah, I cannot imagine coming out in these streets with less than 4 months. Just my 2 cents, being able to live off of that. Something I should have mentioned is that after I quit, I found out that I could have probably went on disability and collected disability for a year while I was doing this journey. So I at least would have had some income. So I definitely recommend seeing if you're able to do that, because if you can go on disability instead, then you're not completely depleting your savings and then you need even less money to save. And then there was something else that came to mind that I wanted to touch on when I was speaking about how much you have saved up. Oh, where your money's coming from. So if you are pursuing a business and that's what you're trying to make work for you or whatever, I want you to address the elephant in the room and be very honest about what is it that you really love and that you're really passionate about and that you really love to do. Is the business idea you're going for, because are you going for that business idea because you believe it's practical, because it's good, because people told you it's good, because you believe it's good, you like it, you feel like this works, or are you going for it because you're like, no, I love this. This is me. This is everything I'm about. And I bring that up because I have 2 businesses, one where I help people with their finances and one where I am a dancer. And I'm great at helping people with their finances. I'm great at financial literacy and all that good stuff. So I created a business around that and really good products for it. And I've also done the same with dance and programs around that. I'm great at both. And that's not me tooting my own horn. I just, whatever. And what I've learned is really important in manifestation is aligned action and genuinely being honest with yourself about what makes you feel good and what do you really want to do. If you pursue a career, or I shouldn't say a career, a business, or whatever it is you're going for, that you're pursuing that because it's a good option, you're gonna eventually get tired of that too. And I'm not saying I'm tired of my other business. I'm definitely not tired of it, but I'm nowhere near as motivated to work on it. And then I was trying to force myself at first. 'Cause I was like, well, I quit my job, so I have to make this work. And then I realized, wait, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. I can focus on what I want to do and what's most aligned with me. I don't believe I'm not with the hustle culture or any of that. I'm big on aligned action. So that's my 2 cents on that. Um, when you come out in these streets, be able to control your emotions, be able to solidify yourself in belief and knowing, have enough savings so that you cannot worry about that. That's just not something you need on your neck. It's going to make it a lot harder for you to do step 1. And then step 3, be very honest about what you genuinely want to do. and pursue that. Even if it's scary, even if it's less realistic, whatever, that's what you should be going for. That's what source is going to support you. Source, God, infinity, universe, whatever name you resonate with more, it will support you more in following your true passions than you trying to force something to work. If you're having to force anything to work, it's not going to work out. With that being said, I haven't manifested anything. I shouldn't use this word, but big. Okay. Anything big. But I have very recently seen that I've been paying a lot of attention and experimenting a lot with my environment on, can I manifest this? Can I manifest that? Because I was never good at the small manifestations. Oh, manifest a butterfly, manifest this or whatever. And when it wouldn't work, it would weaken my confidence in my abilities and all that jazz. But when you focus on your emotions, when you focus on feeling good and focus on trusting what is for you will come to you at the right time. I personally believe in divine timing. I've made a video, I made a shorts, I think. Was it a shorts? I'm pretty sure I posted that on here on why I think it is more beneficial for you to believe in divine timing. You can believe what you want to believe. This is all just my 2 cents. But practicing that, putting that stuff into practice. I manifested $120 recently, and then so that was my second one. My first one for manifesting money, I manifested $20, and then this one I was manifesting 100, and I got 120. And both of those actually were given to me by my aunt. Ironically, she gave me money for two different reasons, and I have no problem going into detail on that. I just know this video is already getting kind of long, but I just want to tell you at least where it came from. My next manifestation is 1,000. Now that I see that, and by the way, both of those manifestations I've realized in hindsight that they're manifestations, or I guess like in the moment when I started thinking about it. When I first got the money, I was like confused. Wait, what is this money for? Where, I'm tracing it back, like, huh. And then like a light bulb went off, like, oh my gosh, I told the universe, like, the first time I said bring me $20 via Apple Pay, I wanted it to be in Apple Pay. I was specific because I wanted to see, am I creating it? I don't want it to be a coincidence. And then the $100, I put no stipulations on. I was just like, bring me $100 before the end of February. And the reason I started small is because there's less resistance and building the manifestation muscle and all that good stuff. I honestly should make more videos because I make a lot of like TikToks on this stuff. But now that I've seen that I can actually attract $100 into my life, that's giving me a lot more confidence and a lot more confidence in what I'm doing and what's happening. So like I said, my next feed is 1,000. I'm excited to see how the universe brings it to me, but I'm confident that it is going to come to me at the right time. I'm not really putting an end of the month on it. What I like to say when manifesting with deadlines is, I would like this by the end of the month. But if not, then I know that's okay, or how do I word it? It's this or something better. It's something I always say to myself. So I'm like, it's either coming at the end of the month or something better or at a better time or whatever. It's always better. And so even if I'm manifesting a particular item or thing or situation, it's like, it's this or something better. And then if it's for me, it will come to me. That's what I was getting at earlier. And I want this by the end of the month. If it's for me, then it'll come to me. And if it's not for me yet, then it won't. So that when it doesn't happen, I'm not like, damn, or thinking that I can't manifest or something like that. And then I guess to wrap this up, I'll touch on some more other stuff later. I think it's a good decision. I'm trying to really watch my words here just in case someone actually watches this. Because I'm not trying to encourage people to make reckless decisions. And I'm saying this as someone that hasn't even brought in any windfall, like $100. Like, what's that paying for? You know what I mean? Like, so, but I know that more is coming to me. I mean, who knows? Y'all could see me 6 months later on here, and I'm like, just kidding. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen, obviously. But my point just being like, I think regardless of the outcome, it's a good decision. And if this is something that's weighing heavily on your heart, there's something in a book that I read. I guess I'm almost done with it. Parallel Universes of Self, and there are a couple quotes where it's like, if something feels relieving, then that's good for the soul. If something feels good, that's the right decision, or whatever. Something along those lines, basically, if it's weighing heavily on you, if you're getting a heavy pull to leave, a heavy pull to leave, and you feel like, bro, I think I'm going to regret not leaving. That's how I did navigated this when I left my first job. So this is not the first time I'm quitting my job into a more uncertain path. This is just my first time doing it in such an extreme way. Um, and the first time I did that, I consider that to this day the best decision I made in my life, other than getting locks because I have locks, and I that's a solid top two. But quitting that job to this day, I mark as the best decision of my life, and it wasn't an easy journey because I didn't know anything about this manifestation stuff, and I wasn't the person that I am today at the all. So I'm not saying that was a cakewalk, but it was the best decision I made in my life, and I don't know where you're at in your journey, but I do know when stuff is pulling on you heavy, and especially if you're gonna regret. That's how I always make my decision. To me that's intuition. If I feel like I'm gonna regret making a decision, I don't make that decision. And if I feel like I'm gonna regret not making a decision, then I make the decision. You get what I'm saying now? Like, am I gonna regret not doing that? Then I'm gonna do it. Am I gonna regret doing it? Then I'm not gonna do it. Like, I live with no regrets. To me, regret is kind of like a good GPS system or radar for my own intuition. So, say all that to say, if you feel like you're going to regret not leaving your job, I would tell you to leave that job. If you are feeling a heavy pull to leave the job, I would say to leave the job. Um, but absolutely, have some type of plan of action. I personally am not at the level in my manifestation journey to be able to say, like, yeah, I quit that job with no money in the bank and you'll manifest $1,000 next week. Like, there are people that make videos about that and that do that they're at that level though. And they're at that level of trust. So I'm still building my trust. I've gained trust with the universe, but if you're watching this video, I feel I can assume you're not at that level either. So I would say have some money in your savings account, which you've probably already been doing if you're watching this video. Um, and it's okay. It's really not that scary. And at the end of the day, you grow and you learn. I told myself if I quit my job and nothing I wanted happened and I got out there and just shit was hitting the fan left and right, then I'd be like, you know what, this is just a vacation then at this point. And to just treat it like that and then be like, okay, and then I'll go back into whatever. It was a hard decision for me because the savings that I did have, or that I technically still do have, the month is not over. Okay, I can get another check. But the savings that I'm about to tap into was very personal savings for me because it was savings for, let's just say, something very important, very expensive that I had spent years accumulating. So to decide to just spend that so that I can just live at home. It was not an easy decision. But I fully believe now, like, that money's gonna be replaced. Everything's gonna be fine. Like, where I'm at now, I'm like, everything's gonna be fine. But it took me a long time to get there. And just swinging back around to my point of that, it's worth it. I know I'm a yapper. If you've seen any of my videos, you should be fully aware of the fact that I'm a full-time yapper. Um, but yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it if it goes your way. It's worth it if it doesn't go your way. You don't have to work at these horrible jobs. You don't have to remain in situations that your soul is telling you to get out of. And that's really who I'm speaking. I'm not speaking to the person that's like, I'm tired of my job because they want me to get up early or whatever. Like, I'm talking to the people that are on here like, bro, this is really not for me. And I really need to get out of here. And I really want to be able to manifest my dreams in my life too. And I feel like I'm fully capable of it. And I just need to figure it out. So get out there and figure it out. You don't know what you don't know. If you're, I guess before I turn this off, if you're interested in the journey, I will be making more videos. I'm finally getting on here making more videos, discussing intuition, divine timing, things to help you with emotional control, all that type of stuff. Because to me, that's everything: belief, knowing, emotional control, trust, relaxation, calmness, joy, ease. To me, that's everything. That's when I finally started seeing. Actually, I manifested friend groups too. Actually, and I've manifested a few things. So, if you're interested in hearing about any of that and how you can apply that to yourself, especially if you're someone who feels strong emotions and struggles with managing them, def subscribe or at least come back some other time and see if I've posted the video. Because I think it's very, very valuable. Good luck.